That boulder should do it. But I'm going to wedge some smaller ones in around it to make sure it doesn't move.
Thank you, Kitty Cat, for helping me seal off the original entrance to this place. I certainly don't want a repeat performance of Soledad as a Brucia Verger.
The Green Witch. But I don't understand why you didn't just have Wales keep the brooch.
The amulet said to bring it here.
If you say so.
Wales only compromised and said I could do that if we also sealed off the known entrance and let them build one of their own. Which I think they've just about done.
Okay, but why do you listen to the amulet?
Well, for starters, it's the only male voice that has consistently told me the truth. Are you all right? I thought you'd laugh at that. Or at least defend Trevor and Greg.
I'm fine. Why?
You seem down. And I don't think a dark, dank and slightly musty cave is the best place to be if you're depressed.
I'll be all right. I just have had a lot to think about lately, with my parents nearly splitting up and me finding out I was adopted.
Don't forget being married to Trevor.
Ha. And I just wonder sometimes if I'm the right person.
Right person for what?
The right person to have these powers.
Stop wondering that, Catty Wumpus.
That's a new one.
I'm workshopping alternatives, trying to stay fresh. Anyway, you're exactly the right person. The amulet says so.
The amulet? Really?
Yes.
Why does the amulet have an opinion about me and my powers?
I guess you'd have to ask it.
Red light. Would you please come to the first section of the new cave entrance? One of the pillars is given way, and we need one of your light constructs to hold it until a new one may be put into place.
That sounds more like a job for Amazing Woman.
Sure. Sounds right up my alley.
Thank you, Amazing Woman, but we need you to finish blocking off the old cavern entrance. And we're not long how long it will take for a new pillar to get here. One of your constructs, Red Light, won't have to hold its arms over its head for hours.
That's a good point. I'm on my way. Back soon, Anna Banana. And do stop fretting.
What does she mean anyway, the amulet says so?
Pretty much just what she said. The amulet told her you're the right person. Because I did.
Lenny Watkins?
My Amazing Woman, starring Lena Garcia and AJ Cruz. Earlier that day.
Honey, where are the stamps? Oh, you're dressed as Amazing Woman. What's up?
I have to go help Maddie and Olive with the cave.
The one where Soledad got the brooch, right?
Yeah. They're trying to prevent anyone else from finding anything else there. Wales is going to plug up the cave entrance and dig a whole new one. More like a mine shaft, including ventilation.
Okay, but they have the equipment for that, don't they?
True. But if I take care of blocking off the old entrance while they're building a new one, it'll save everyone half the time. Plus, Maddie says she wants company. So I'm going to go.
And leave me here with reruns of Australian Lawyers in Love?
That's not the name of the show.
I know. I still like my title better. Hey, what's with that look?
What look?
That look. Are you upset or something?
Sort of. I'm still a little rattled by the whole thing with Mom and Dad.
You mean you and your mom being loaded?
Like I told you before, Grandma Annabelle is loaded. Mom won't have any of that money until Grandma's gone. By the time I see any of that money, you'll be a partner at the firm.
Well, I'm hoping for partners sooner than that. So it's just about being adopted and your parents knowing for a while now that you're Amazing Woman.
Well, there's something else.
What?
Sometimes I just think I'm a fraud.
A fraud? Why?
I didn't invent my powers like Dr. Calculus invented his suit. I didn't even find my powers like Maddie found the amulet. I fell into a vat.
Well, in the comic books, Plastic Man fell into a vat.
And in the comic books, no one takes Plastic Man seriously.
Let's see, the Joker fell into a vat.
How on earth is that helping?
It's not. I'm sorry. Look, I don't know how most of the Liberty Guild got their powers or equipment or anything, but I do know that pretty much all of them respect you more than anyone else.
I don't know why.
I do. It's because you're wonderful.
You mean amazing.
That too, and amazing. Fly safely, hun. I'll see if Hector wants to play some KXU games.
Is that you, Lenny? And why can't I see you?
Oh, I'm not your neighbor, Lenny Watkins. Although I sound like him right now. Guess again.
Maddie's amulet?
You're getting warmer.
The green brooch.
I don't know if that counts as warmer or colder. So I'll just tell you. I am the spirit inside the amulet, and the brooch, and the rings.
What rings? And why do you sound like Lenny Watkins?
I wanted to use a voice you were familiar with.
Do you sound like Lenny to Maddie?
No. Most of the time for her, I sound like Daniel Craig or Idris Elba.
Sounds about right.
Anyway, you were wondering if you were the right person to have your powers.
Yeah, I guess I am.
Would you like to see?
See what?
Your life, if someone else had your powers.
That would be a neat trick.
I made boxing gloves appear out of thin air. And you think a vision is a neat trick? Anyway, just have a seat and watch.
Good morning, Miss Walker.
Good morning, Diana.
Arch is waiting for you in your office. You have the Richardson deposition at 10. I managed to get your orchestra tickets for the Glenville House Trio farewell tour at Huntington Wentworth Auditorium coming up in a couple of months. And remember, you have that lunch with Ms. Goforth at 12:30 at the Peruvian restaurant up the street.
Thank you, Diana.
And I'll have your sports car detailed in the meantime.
Thank you, Diana.
Well, good morning, second best lawyer at the firm.
Saying good morning to yourself again, are you?
So, have you come to a decision?
I have.
And?
Well, I needed to approach my dad because I didn't have quite enough saved for the buy-in. But I'm in.
Great! Davis, Walker, and Associates. Has a nice ring to it. Cheers!
This might be the first time I ever toasted with a coffee mug.
Tell you what, let's celebrate over lunch.
I can't, Arch. I have a lunch date with Madison today.
Well, then how about dinner at that rooftop restaurant that overlooks the water?
Easy, cowboy. I'm not trying to become Mrs. Arch Davis IV.
Strictly business, partner. Strictly business.
Wait, I drive a sports car?
Yes. A yellow Italian one.
And I'm a lawyer and I work at Trevor's firm?
You're a lawyer and you work at Arch's farm. Trevor doesn't work there.
Is Trevor a lawyer?
We might get to that if we have the time.
And Diana, is she just an administrative assistant?
No, but you don't know that yet.
I don't? Okay. But if she's an agent, then why is she at the firm working for me?
We might get to that if we have time.
And she also called me Walker.
That's your name.
My maiden name. So, I'm not married?
No.
And where in all of this is Trevor?
I have a feeling we might get to that too if we have the time. Let's skip forward to lunch.
I'll have the steak.
And I will take the salmon.
I don't wear heels.
In this life you do.
I do like the pantsuit though.
Shh. Anna Banana, darling. Good to see you. Sit down. Honey Bunny had to use the little boy's room.
That's a pretty cutesy nickname for you to use.
Well, he makes me feel cutesy, honestly.
I'm excited to meet him. From what you've told me about him, he seems like a great guy. even if you haven't introduced us before now, or even told me his name.
Oh, pish tosh, you're always working, Counselor. You've become quite the drip in your climb up the legal ladder of success.
Just trying to make the Juris Doctor pay off. Mom can't live vicariously through me without it. Speaking of climbing the legal ladder, I have big news.
Yes?
I'm going to be a full partner.
That's wonderful. Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
This is going to be one momentous lunch because I have some big news of my own.
Spill.
I just need to get my man back first. Ah, here he comes. Anna Cat Walker, I'd like you to meet Trevor Waring.
No.
Charmed.
Pleasure to meet you.
Honey, you can sit down now.
Oh, yes, right. Sorry, I got distracted.
So, what do you do for a living, Trevor Waring?
I'm a stringer, Anna Cat Walker, a freelance reporter for television stations, radio outlets, news websites, and like that.
Trevor has covered lots of the appearances of the new Mr. Wonderful.
The superhero.
Right, but the new guy. The original one retired right after Miss Wonderful died.
I know all about that.
Sorry, Kitty Cat, I hadn't told him yet.
And why are you going to?
Well, when I tell you the rest about him, it'll all make sense. First, we wanted to have this lunch with you to tell you that we're getting engaged.
No. No!
Yes. But because we're doing that, we had to tell each other about our secrets, and that meant me having to tell him yours.
Secrets?
Just keep listening.
I had to tell him that I am the fabulous Red Light. Well, not really tell him that, he knew that. I had to tell him that I'm the fabulous Madison Goforth.
So she knows you're Red Light.
She was there when I found the amulet.
He knew you as Red Light first?
Yes, Annie, but it only makes sense as we met at a Liberty Guild meeting. You see, he's the new Mr. Wonderful.
Guilty? Sorry. I'm in guilty as charged. That's my superhero voice.
But that means...
Yes. Your uncle, his professor, Ben Dixon, gave Trevor his ring.
Wait, Mr. Wonderful is your uncle? Hey, Madison, what's up?
Trevor, is Annie there?
I don't know, because I'm not there.
What do you mean?
I'm not at the house. I'm over at Hector's. So she could be there, and I wouldn't know. Maybe call Lenny and see if he sees her. Why do you ask?
Olive and I have been trying to get her on our communicators, and she's not answering. I thought maybe she'd gone home and was taking a shower or something.
In that case, I hope Lenny isn't seeing her. You don't think anything's wrong, do you?
No, I don't, but her not answering me does have me a little spooked. I do hope that column arrives soon.
Is that some kind of metaphor?
No. Goodbye, Counselor.
Back at the cave.
Time out. Time out. Time out. There's a lot to unpack there.
I would agree.
Wait. You sound like Olive now.
I do.
Okay. Why do you sound like Olive now?
Given what you just learned, and what you're going to learn, I thought this voice may be more soothing.
What would be more soothing is Trevor's voice.
Are you sure?
Ew, I mean his real voice. If he was really here. Go back to Olive.
As you wish.
So, you're telling me that my uncle was a superhero?
I am.
And Trevor became a superhero from a ring that my uncle gave him?
That's correct.
A ring from this cave?
That's correct.
And nobody fell into a vat anywhere?
Well, I'm sure somebody fell into a vat somewhere.
I'm confused.
I don't doubt it. There's more, if you're ready to look.
Fine, let's look. Sorry, I'm just a little tired.
Moving around boulders and watching another Second Life will do that. Just relax. and watch the rest of it.
Okay.
We're moving forward, past that day a little bit.
Thank you, Miss Byrne.
Wait, you never explained why I have an agent for an administrative assistant.
Oh, that. You're the closest thing Madison has to a living relative. She asked Wales to protect you in case someone tried to get back at her through you.
That makes sense. Does this mean Wales has agents around my family?
You'll have to ask Wales.
That's right. You only sound like the special agent.
Continuing.
Sit down, Trevor.
Thanks.
So, I have your will here. Just sign there and there, please.
Okay.
Do you want to tell me why you're really here?
What do you mean?
You could have had any attorney draw this up. You could have downloaded a form from the internet.
I wanted to give you the business.
I think that's true, but not in the way that you mean. You arranged this because you wanted to have a conversation with me with Maddie not around. One that I would be obligated not to tell her about.
Attorney-client privilege.
Exactly. What's on your mind, Trevor?
I don't know how to say this.
Let me help you get started. I noticed that Maddie is not included in this will.
No, she's not. It's because I think I'm in love with someone else. Maddie is a fun woman, a great looker. She's a great person. But over the last several weeks, I felt a connection to someone else. It feels like this person and I were supposed to be together. I have feelings for her, but I have no idea she feels the same way.
You should ask her.
I plan to. Soon.
How soon?
Right now.
You mean me?
Yeah, I do.
I'm Maddie's best friend.
I know.
It'll crush her if you break up with her. Never mind what it will do if she finds out it's because of me.
I know. But... How do you feel about me?
You can't ask me that.
I am asking. And I need to know.
I think I love you. I think I felt the same thing you felt when I met you, that somehow we're supposed to be together. But I can't do that to her.
I'm not asking you to. I just needed to know.
The Liberty Guild alarm.
How did you... Oh, that's right, Maddie. Anyway, there are reports that Eris has taken Huntington Wentworth Auditorium hostage.
The entire building?
Yes, the Glenville House Trio opened the doors to everyone for a free soundtrack concert ahead of tonight's paid one. Only she showed up and took everyone hostage with her Stratocaster guitar. I have to go.
Trevor, be careful. That's how my Aunt Beth died.
Your aunt?
Somehow Eris getting the crowd to hate her weakened her to the point that the angry mob was able to kill her. Uncle Ben barely escaped with his life.
I'll be careful. Just remember what I told you.
Even with everything being different, we found each other.
You did.
But I can't do that to Maddie. I just can't.
Do what?
Take Trevor away from her.
I don't think either one of you wanted this to happen.
I guess not. Miss Wonderful was my aunt.
It would so appear.
Still no VATS?
Not so far, no.
Why am I yawning so much?
Because you want to go to sleep.
That sounds great. I feel like I could sleep for 100 years.
If that's what you wish.
But wait, I want to know what happened.
Are you sure? Because that may not help you get to sleep.
I want to know.
As you wish.
In what can only be called an eerily ironic turn of fate, the new Mr. Wonderful was killed today in almost precisely the same manner as
Annie, honey, wake up.
They've turned up the ventilation system, Madison.
Come on, Annie.
I'm sorry, Maddie.
What? For sleeping on the job? You bloody well should be, young lady.
No, for taking Trevor from you.
Say what now?
Anna Catherine, I think the fumes have disoriented you.
Fumes?
Yes, some sort of gas leaked in there before we turned on the ventilation system.
Yes, when you didn't answer the intercom and didn't take Trevor's call, we rushed in here as soon as the pylon was in place.
Trevor called me?
Yes, the doofus was worried about you.
Don't let her fool you, so was she.
I'm sorry about Trevor.
I'm sorry you're with him too, but you knew that.
No, not that. I didn't mean to take him away from you. But why did he have to die?
Anna Catherine, what are you talking about? Trevor's alive.
He's not Mr. Wonderful?
Certainly not in my book.
No, that's right. It's what would have happened.
You're speaking in riddles.
I asked her amulet what would happen if I didn't have my powers. Well, it wasn't really her amulet. It was the voice inside her amulet. It told me everything.
Everything?
Well, everything about my amazing other life. I was a lawyer. I wore makeup.
Well, that certainly is another life.
You got involved with Trevor. Only he was going to leave you for me.
My amulet told you all that?
It did, I swear.
I doubt that it talked to you, sweetie.
It did. Only it didn't sound like Daniel Craig or Idris Elba.
Well, maybe it did. Come on, Anna Banana, let's get you outside.
The gases in the cave drugged me, and I must have hallucinated the rest.
That is some hallucination. But it's hard to believe his ring would give anyone superpowers, let alone me.
I don't know. Hank, the mighty Heracles, gets his powers from a ring.
Yeah, but I don't exactly see Professor Dixon flying around in a cape.
You might be wrong about that. He had a flair for the dramatic. He would do these puppet shows when I was little.
I think there's a little distance between puppet shows and superheroes.
True. It was scary watching you die.
Well, honey, remember that really wasn't me or you. And I don't plan to die for a long, long time.
Does anyone?
True.
I'm going to get myself a glass of wine.
Betsy, set a reminder for 10 a.m. to call Professor Dixon.
You've been listening to Season 2, Episode 5 of My Amazing Woman, titled My Amazing Other Life, starring AJ Cruz as Trevor and Lena Garcia as Anna Cat, featuring Sophie Flack as Madison, Nicole Beharrell as Olive, Frank Guglielmelli as Lenny, Michelle Sobeski as Diana, David Robbins as Arch, Ken Hallaron as the reporter, and James Z. Taylor as your narrator. This episode was produced and written by James with script continuity from Ken. It was voice directed by Mark Allen Bauer and dialogue edited by James, with sound mastering and original music also by James. Sound effects are from freesound.org. This is a production of Hey Daddy-O Audio in affiliation with Tidewell Electronic Recording Productions, copyright 2023 by James Z. Taylor, all rights reserved. This is a work of fiction. Names, characters, businesses, events, and incidents are the products of the author's peculiar imagination. Any resemblance to actual persons living or dead or actual events is purely coincidental.